Hey there again, guys. It's a Monday. That means we're starting our week off again, and I'm doing so with about 19% battery power on my camera, which when you're filming in HD goes pretty darn fast. Let's talk about something that's been on my mind lately. A bit of a subject that I've thought about more than once can be summarized as trust. Trust. How do you know you have it? How do you know when to have it? What exactly goes into trust? Trust is the ability to communicate openly with somebody about personal things or just things that you have a hard time telling other people without the feeling that you're going to be harshly criticized or negatively judged or just not heard or understood. I think that's a lot of what causes some people's social anxieties. It's the feeling of self-isolation because their thoughts or their ideas or whatever it might be this person wants to share, it isn't coming out because trust isn't there. It could be from bad experience in the past, or it could be from something that is completely fantasized about, that isn't, or never was a real scenario, but just seems to be a recurring thought that might happen. Building trust is exactly what that implies. Building. Building doesn't happen overnight. I should probably stop smacking these together. Building doesn't happen overnight. You don't make a building overnight. You don't build something overnight necessarily, you know. It takes time. I think that's the important thing to have when it comes to trust, is to have patience, and to understand that it's not going to happen as fast as you want it to. You know, when you want to trust somebody or have them trust you, you have to show them first that that can be a reality. I know, you know, like a lot of people go, oh, well, I'm telling you so many things, like let me open up to you and tell you about my entire life. And, you know, that should be enough for you, that I'm able to trust you, you should trust me. No, it doesn't always work like that. In fact, trust, I believe, is always best built through actions, not words. So, over time, you're able to trust somebody because you see that they demonstrate qualities that are trustworthy. They've been in situations and scenarios you've seen them in which they could have been dishonest, but they weren't. I think we say a lot of things. We say a lot more than we actually are willing to commit to or do. So, yeah, phone, stupid camera, just died, and I really thought I could get a lot more out of that, but just goes to show you, alright, 19% lasted me, what, 5 minutes? 6? I need to talk a heck of a lot faster. Regardless, we're gonna finish up my phone here. What was I saying? Oh, yes, building trust takes time. I really do admire those people who take their time to step back and analyze situations and people and just understand that it takes time, you know. So it kind of goes back to just a lot of the things I've been talking about in some of my other videos, just being aware of other people, emotions, emotional connections, and just people surrounding you. I was asked recently, how can I be so confident? How am I just so confident about that? And I don't mean to boost my ego, or what's the word? Toot my own horn, I guess, is a good way to put it. I don't want to talk up myself, but it was something that was said to me, and the way that it kind of hit me in that moment was that I don't think that true confidence or leadership comes from an understanding of yourself. Like, oh, look, this is what I can do. I know that I can handle this. Those of you who can't, I'm sorry, step aside, but this is just the way it is. I think that there are some leaders out there who are like that, and I think that sometimes that leadership can fall apart and break because it's based on yourself, and we, as much as some of us may hate to believe it, are very fragile creatures, both physically and emotionally we can be. To have confidence or start or build leadership based upon yourself, I think, is doomed to fail from the start. And instead, what I've noticed about myself is that I tend to focus a lot on other people. It's always because when I think about myself too much, I become self-conscious, very self-aware of just the things that I do that I don't like, and maybe the way that I look or the way that I talk. So when I start to focus on other people's needs and interests and what is necessary for the relationship, being able to focus on the other person, it takes all of the attention away from me, in my mind. So I don't know, it's just something to think about, something to consider. That all stemmed from trust somehow, and now it's become something a little bit more, I think. That's about it. I've got to edit now from 2 sources, from my camera and from the phone, and get ready for rehearsal night and everything and all that shebang. So I'll Oh, remember, life is a play, and the play is the thing. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I still need you.